Rachel and Aven meet with the Love Witch. Roby the magician reappears with bright blonde locks. And Meatball gets saucy yet again. It's Men Tell All Week 8 on the Bachelorette Season 19.
Ow, ow.
I am Liz Donatelli and my co-host is Tiffany Current. You are watching Romance Recap, a weekly talk show on the Reader Seeks Romance channel that reviews and discusses dating reality shows. We are deep diving into a historic season of The Bachelorette, which follows the romance journeys of Gabby Windy and Rachel Recchia. Hello, Tiffany.
We're here. We're finally at the tell-all where nothing was told, but we're still in this episode. so that's fine. We're here at the tell-all, but we get to see at least something to kind of start out the show. Aven and Rachel, they go to, was it Massachusetts? Was it Salem, Massachusetts?
Salem, Massachusetts, which I have been to a few times. It's a suburb outside of Boston, known for the Salem witch trials.
Oh.
I love this place. It's one of my favorite places to visit. I've been there a few times, seen all the sites, visited some of those stores, which we get to see up close and personal.
Oh my God.
Go to a magic, I'm going to say a magic store. The proprietor, Lorelei, is the Love Witch, and she says it's the oldest shop in Salem and in the country. I don't know if there's, substantiation for that claim, but it's an old magic shop.
I don't know. I took it as a witch shop, and like right when she started talking, I'm like, oh, so she's from the Jersey Shore. Like clearly she's not from Massachusetts. That's not a Massachusetts.
She is. That's a very thick Boston accent.
That's a Boston accent?
Very old school, very thick, old school, New England.
That's fascinating.
Boston accent. Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
It is. Mm-hmm.
Good for her, man. It sounded like Jersey to me. All right, so that's a Boston accent.
Well, Jersey and Massachusetts, I guess they're not that far.
They're not that far apart. That's fascinating.
Very thick, yeah. She was a delight. She
was a delight.
She was a delight. I would totally visit her. That's my goal, is to now visit her shop.
She was fantastic. She stole the show. She's like, let's do some magic. Let's do a love potion. I was like, okay.
And, she's throwing some stuff on the fire there on the candle.
Yeah.
Lorelei.
She's throwing like baking soda on. I was like, all right, cool. She's got a little explosion. I know what that's about. It was cool. It was cute.
It was fun. And she basically wishes them, both love, essentially. And, does a little reading of the two of them. Oh, she said that Aven was, hides what he feels, but he's a romantic. Yes. And she is, a giver and needs clarity. It's like, yeah, we all know this, Lorelei.
The yin and yang, we get it.
At the end of the spell, the most thrilling, exciting thing of the episode happened.
I'm going to leave now, and thank you for
Lorelei bumped into the table that contained all the spell magic, and it went crashing. And basically, that's a foreshadowing, wouldn't you say, about their love?
I think that's probably a good foreshadowing. But when we went from there to their the hometown date, not so much, because when we went in to see, I know that Rachel was very nervous because obviously after the whole Tino situation, she was traumatized.
Yes.
But she went in to meet Aven's mom and dad, and I guess this was the first time they've been in the same room together. I don't know. I was like, good
ever.
For them.
Yeah, since the divorce. I'm thinking the producers backed up the money truck to make that happen.
They're like, that's fine. We'll do one sit down. We have 10 minutes. Let's make this happen.
I mean, the two of them did not interact. The mom and dad
didn't
really
talk.
didn't act.
I don't even know there's eye contact. It was like there might have been like a green screen. I don't know. Yeah. But they came in, and the dad took Rachel's side, and he asked her some hard-hitting questions, but they were gentler, but they were still some, hard-hitting questions in regards to, I think it's just like basically, where do you see yourself with Aven? Are you 100%? And Rachel did admit that she was not 100% yet. Yeah, but she could get there. She could maybe get there.
I admired that she was honest. And you know what? Let's face it. She already at this point might feel like Aven's not the one. I might as well be honest. Prepare everyone for the eventual reality of my not picking him. But I thought that the dad was going to like kind of needle her about not saying 100%. But he was like, okay.
He was like, "You're honest. I like that you're honest." I like
her.
that she was honest. He really liked her. I think the mom took her aside at some point and asked her some questions as well. And she was, I think the one thing I wrote down is the mom said, "I see how affectionate he is with you." I'm like, "He's affectionate?" I'm like, with her, I was like, "I'm not seeing this." Okay. But she was sold on her too, apparently. I was like, okay.
She was. It was all nicey. And, Rachel felt good about the date, about meeting the parents. And then finally, Aven admits, "I'm falling in love with you." And, she's so tickled and thrilled.
Stop it.
And she's so pleased, does not reciprocate, but
I love it. It was hilarious.
As is her MO.
Her MO.
She admits it to us, to the camera, to the one-on-one confessional. "Yeah, I'm falling for him." It's like, but you didn't say it to him yet again. So I don't believe you. I called BS.
I didn't believe her there either, because he was like, "I'm falling for you." And she's just like, "That's what I've been waiting to hear. I've been waiting so long to hear this." And I was like, okay, are you going to respond? Like, "Oh, this is exactly what I wanted." I'm like, all right. You're like the kid that's just collecting dolls who doesn't want to actually play with them. That's fine.
Oh, that's a great comparison. That is perfect.
That's what I felt. That's what I felt.
Yeah.
But you know what? Allegedly, she's starting to fall for him. I don't know.
So then we go right into the men's tell-all with the brief announcement that the rose ceremony did happen off camera. You can watch it online, but basically nobody was sent home. So nobody, except I guess Tyler and Rachel broke up.
Except for Tyler. Yeah, they broke up. But we got to the men tell-all, and they basically, what we were all expecting to see was Hayden. Hayden was not there. We got to see a whole clip of him in the reel and the guys talking about him. But Hayden was not there to I guess stand up for himself. But I think you said you noticed something in the audience about Hayden.
Yeah, well, there was a little bit of Hayden cosplay. There was a man dressed as Rambo holding a yellow plush duck.
Little ducky. Yeah.
And if anyone recalls, Hayden revealed to Rachel in that his last date with her that he had a dog dying named Rambo, and he had brought the duck that Rambo used as his healing duck, and showed it to her and took away that duck to bring it to the production of The Bachelorette. There was kind of like a dig at Hayden by dressing someone else as Rambo. I'm guessing he was a paid actor. I want to say everybody in that audience paid actors.
I think that I don't know if they were paid actors, but I think they were given signs, because some of them said like "save Rambo" and etc. So I do think some of them were just like given signs and etc. But
listen, they were definitely being cued for expressions on the camera, because the camera would cut to them and you'd see people just look very I saw this a lot. Come on.
What I loved is that the big announcement that we saw last week in the preview was that they all get a cruise. And that's when I was like, oh, so that's why they're there, because they're like, you better give me that cruise. So when he said it, of course, you're like, yes, we're getting it. We're getting the cruise. I was
there was a cruise giveaway by Virgin America, Virgin Atlantic. I don't know. Virgin Cruises.
It's Virgin.
Cruises. And and that was one of a few tie-ins, promotional tie-ins.
So let's get into the guys. So we did see Logan, and can I just say I was liking Logan's new hair. I was liking that new little floppy look.
I thought
it was attractive. It was attractive.
I was sitting there saying, why do I find him more attractive? And you know what? The minute you said his hair, I said, that was it.
It was the hair. Because before it was like shorter. Now it's like more of a floppy thing.
Floppy thing. It looked like he might have even had, maybe it's a little sun-kissed. Looked like a little lighter. Yeah. And he had the shirt open. Very cash. Yeah. Very cash.
Yeah. He did sit in the hot seat, and the guys went around trying to, intimidate him with his questions about switching sides. And I thought he actually handled himself very well. He was there in person. He took the questions. He explained himself like, I was just there trying to find love. And so that's why I jumped sides. And I was like, all right, fine.
Yeah, there really was no argument, because each of the suitors who were made accountable for their past misdeeds in this episode, obviously were prepped beforehand, had their very well written out apology memorized. So there really wasn't a whole lot that could be said against them. There was nothing but for everyone to accept it. Okay, we accept your answer. Let's clap about it. Apparently, Roby, the magician, did not get the memo because he was trying to stir the pot by kind of, just putting the suitors' feet to the fire. He was down on Meatball. He was down on Jacob.
He was down a lot of people. Yeah. He was just trying to get some screen time, He was just trying to get screen time.
Well, can you blame him? He was sporting those new bright blonde locks.
I wasn't feeling the locks. That was not for me.
I didn't even know it was him at first.
I know until they said it, and I was like, that's the magician? Okay.
Yeah, it made him look even more like a D-bag,
I think it's probably more to make him look more magical. That was my guess, to go with the magician. I don't know. That's what I thought. I'm like, maybe he's going for like a blonde magician. After Logan, at some point we had Nate go in the hot seat as well. And what I liked about the Nate hot seat is that when they're showing his journey, he's like reliving it.
Yes.
He was excited. He was in love. And then he was crying. Like, he was reliving every single moment. And I was reliving it with him. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, Nate.
Yeah.
Nate.
Well, yeah, I was surprised at how raw he still felt about those experiences. Because, I mean, how long would you say this has been since they were together? I don't are we talking a year or a half?
No,
okay,
probably
months.
a couple months.
Okay, so months. He, the tears are streaming down. It's like, wow, I really felt his heartbreak.
Yeah.
Everyone on the panel of suitors seemed to hold him in high regard.
Yes.
He spoke again beautifully about his daughter and his relationship with his daughter. And then, of course, Jesse had to address the rumors going around about past relationships, which, I'll be honest, I mean, he answered it really well. He said, that was the man I was. This is the man I am now. Yep. He owned it. He even explained a little bit about after his divorce. He was very protective of his daughter, which was a reason, I guess, he didn't mention his daughter to these women he was dating. I don't know how serious these dates were. It was within his right not to, I guess, share.
Yeah, he doesn't have to bring her up.
Of course, I don't know how long they were dating. I don't know if that even matters, because he even admitted he made some mistakes. That was him then. This is him now. And I thought he handled it well. It seemed authentic. Unlike Jacob, his apology to Gabby, I felt, was very staged.
It was ridiculous. At some point when the girls do come out, because as you said, I believe Nate. When Nate spoke, I believed him. He took time to think about it, and I felt him, and I believed him. And he has a daughter that we all know about, at least on TV. I don't know about these other women, but we all know about it. And it seems like he really is making that his priority, and that's why he chose to act the way he did. And I believe that, and I can respect that as a parent. Meanwhile, Jacob gets up there to do his apology to Gabby. He starts talking, then he takes a moment to he's like, I've got to try to feel it more. I got to try to let my voice crack a little bit. And I was like, this guy is not getting ready to act. Sure enough, getting ready to pretend like his voice is cracking, and he apologized. And Gabby's like, all right, thanks. Yep, that's fine.
Yeah. Did you notice that Gabby said, thank you very much, but she didn't say, I accept your apology? I felt it was not totally accepted, but she was gracious enough to thank him. And same thing, when he took that breath, I said, oh my God, this is like the oldest acting trick, is trying to summon the tears and the emotion.
Yes.
Because and before, earlier in the episode too, Roby was like, hey, about how you treated her, you had no manners. And he's like, I was rude, I was selfish, I was ignorant to her feelings. And he sounded like he was just
he had it rehearsed. He's right. Fine. What he said was hurtful, but it wasn't as bad as Hayden, so I was fine with it. But I was like, you don't have to come with fake tears. Just say, look, I was a dick. Sorry. And at some point we do have
we gotta talk
people come out to promote a movie, but more importantly, they decide to do the sauce trick again.
Wait, yes. Okay, so Billy Eichner, who I love from Billy on the Street and many other things, he has a rom-com coming out with Luke McFarlane called Bros, which I've seen the trailer and I really can't wait for this to come out.
It looks cute.
So they come out to promote the movie. Billy Eichner's like, oh, I believe we have a gift for Meatball. And Meatball's eyes light up. And it's a huge jar of sauce. And Meatball disrobes, much to Jesse's dismay. He was like, I don't believe this is happening again. And Meatball starts pouring the sauce over him.
Yes.
But I think it was too heavy because then Billy Eichner came and kind of gave him an assist and helped him with the jar. Then they separate because it's like, oh, there's all this sauce. And then
he tackles
Meatball tackles Billy, just like
he tackles him out of the blue.
There's sauce everywhere.
I was like, that's Billy Eichner. What are you doing? Yeah, that was crazy.
So I have questions about this. One, do you think it was planned? That whole, like, do you think, well, obviously Billy planned it. Do you think anyone else knew?
I'm assuming that Meatball had a good idea that maybe the sauce would happen since he's been known for the sauce. I'm not sure if the tackle was planned.
The tackle was not planned.
I feel like generally speaking, you don't tackle celebrities. So maybe that was, I don't know if that was discussed or not, but it was very surprising.
I mean, Billy took it really well. So I was wondering, I was thinking either he's a super cool guy or he knew about this because he was wearing white pants and white and pink, like sweater. And I was like, oh my God. But of course, you know, they probably just get another pair of pants.
Yeah,
but
it's the magic of television.
Listen, I think they've gone to the pouring sauce over the body a little too much. It's such a waste. I felt bad for the production people, the cast, the crew who had to clean that up.
Clean up, yep. Tomato sauce again.
I mean, come on. And I'm thinking this guy must be hoping to become some kind of celeb personality.
Interesting. Yeah. Maybe. It's possible. His name's Meatball.
We'll probably end up seeing him on the Food Network as a judge or something, right?
That would be a great tie-in for him. Like of just him, like he could easily make a pasta sauce now. Like this is me. I don't know. They can't just call it Meatball, but he could.
Well, he has to. That's just it. He has
He's
to
a brand.
Meatball. That's
he is a brand.
Exactly. No big revelations. It was just a filler episode, really.
It was a filler episode. It was what it was, but that's pretty much it.
In the words of Lorelei the Love Witch, may we meet, may we part. May we all meet again to love.
To love.